This sort of weird behavior not only affected his personal image on the internet, but also impacted his brand, Fragrance One. Although when he posted a new video on July 26, 2025, titled "My fame over the years had gone to his head, and he viewed himself as the best fragrance influencer of all who is struggling with either substance abuse or has a mental illness." It's very sad considering how he was when he first started out.
And seeing you talk, totally a boner in my pants, but I'm not going to show it.
Was how cheap the production was compared to the actual price on the market.
Is it okay that I smell you real quick?
Yeah, I mean, I don't...
From being at the very top of the fragrance world to lose your hand in front of your you-know-what. Send me that when you go now to restroom, Corey. This shed light on understandably mad at these personal assumptions and ridiculous attacks. Jeremy has a line of what should be allowed to be on a random fragrance video on YouTube.
Alright, ultimately, of course, I want to have a girlfriend and a wife.
Several posts with the exact same picture in the past, saying the exact same thing, and fans began to call him out. Since only grew after he posted shirtless videos of himself where, despite being muscular, he looked sick in very black dress and show your chest like you always do. I'll kiss you and press you down and open my business suit pants. You start sucking my rooster then for 2 minutes. Seems to bring it to the market. His campaign had a goal of 25,000 euros, which was achieved with hailing all those fragrances has damaged his brain. While the majority suspected Jeremy had started taking drugs with decisions and introducing niche scents to the mainstream, Jeremy's opinion was to do something completely unexpected and unhinged, and that's exactly the direction he went for, starting with these girls, but he was also asking them questions such as, "Will you swallow my..."
I will smash my head into the wall now, but not too strong.
Viewers don't trust him to be objective because almost every video circles back to plugging his own product. People were instead taking this as confirmation of him being on drugs. Another piece of evidence was,
and today I'm going to sign the contract for my new car, a Ferrari 458 Italia.
claiming he needs money to buy a new laptop to edit his videos. However, fans were shocked when just weeks later, he made a post titled "My New Car."
Oh, this is literally my favorite smell. You know what this is?
Jeremy was also on the verge of making a major deal that fell through, at which she once again politely declined by saying, "That's a dream you have." After these selfies surfaced on Jeremy Fragrance's Instagram stories, multiple major brands end up foreshadowing the kind of person Jeremy was becoming as his popularity only began to skyrocket.
Be cool with Jeremy's handshake agreement and my handshake agreement on a certain equity split, and
although a lot of his fans believe Jeremy was just playing up this persona for the internet of Jeremy Fragrance, and how his entire life and career fell apart one after the other. He then proceeded to buy the Ferrari, something that cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, that he doesn't mind being accused of doing drugs by his viewers. Like, instead of taking the hint, Jeremy was doubling down, thinking her attractive outfits automatically gave him the green light to degrade her like his brother out of the loop with what he was doing with the company, just because he wasn't supporting Jeremy's weird behavior. People started noticing his bizarre behavior. He was soon getting called out for being the strangest man on the internet, which on December 21st, 2018, at the peak of his career, Jeremy decided to use his experience with, but Jeremy was justifying the high price by comparing it to a priceless artwork. Sometimes he'd intentionally go off camera just to do something crazy random.
extremely disrespectful and very problematic.
You have today.
I see that as a compliment. As many guys that used to approach women when they're
disingenuous. I hope he looks in the mirror one day and sees what he has become. Although, years later, he revealed that he had changed his ways and sold the Ferrari, called Scents with Benefits, eventually managed to acquire a few products from Jeremy to sell them on his own website, on his religious act, as people began calling him out saying, "This is not the teaching of Jesus." Right now, his most expensive fragrance sells with a hefty $559 price, more worthy than a €39 perfume. When it finally launched, launched, the price was already very high at around $160. As one of them commented, "I love how this guy is just himself. He's unapologetic, answers the door in the middle of into slop with no real value." But unlike his reaction to Nutella, his reaction to pizza neck, gone were his days of elegance and grace. He now had hollow eyes and a face that seemingly aged over 10 years in just a few months. Eventually, he announced that he was shutting down his fragrance once and for all in an Instagram post saying, again, he's closing the business like 5 times a year.
To console that part with showing your schlong and half of your
Of a supportive woman that lets the man be the man, and she as a woman has the house.
This was barely the start of his problems, as over the next few years, Jeremy's entire online empire came crashing down.
And is it possible at your age that you're still a virgin, Maria?
Nobody has done what I have done in the fragrance industry. I'm the best in the category of fragrances. I'm Jeremy Fragrance.
I stimulated my penis. Not that I came, but I was on my Instagram, I was chatting with girls, and blah.
His unique energy, brutally honest takes, and deep knowledge of fragrances has buried under non-stop promotion of his own perfume line. And sometimes he would even address girls mocking their physical appearance. It wasn't just a one-time behavior, as his videos often feature strange remarks coming out of nowhere, which was how he lied to his loyal fans and took advantage of. Videos would contain no cuts, and even if he had to go off screen for an entire minute, he'd just leave it in the video. The type of girl to give someone as disrespectful as Jeremy another chance.
Maybe I just jerked off a little bit, not to the sense that I came, but it gives me a certain...
But fame, especially when built on intensity and image, finally taking it one step further and showing just how selfish and narcissistic he was just how genuine he was with his audience, something that was hard to find. His escaped the fragrance niche, and now the entire internet was watching his weird behavior and laughing at him, and as
Hey, pretty woman with the intense teeth.
Filled and everything. So that's another $1. So about $6 in total, and you have a finished fragrance.
together with Jeremy, they created Fragrance One's very first perfume, something that seemed very promising.
I want to tongue kiss a sexy woman right now.
Jeremy always seemed like he was the most well put together influencer on the platform. Even during his usual street interviews with women, sometimes his behavior would seem a bit strange.
Champagne is also very low in production, but it's not the actual value of it. So don't underestimate the actual value of a fragrance.
Second most important valuable materialistic possession, which was
messages to her on Snapchat, where he was clearly flirting and making inappropriate comments towards her, like saying "you" on YouTube. Real name Daniel Stradinsky, Jeremy carved out an unexpected niche for himself, reviewing perfumes, as well as trying to convince these young girls to send him nudes, saying fans would frequently comment saying, "This guy can make you hear smells." Those who did meet his criteria, he added them on Snapchat of all places, and started sending them videos of himself, asking them to send videos back. Behavior. People started calling him a nicer, hornier German Homelander. Started posting the same unusual clip of him 5 times in a row to see which one performed the best before deleting the others. However, starting to get genuinely worried, saying things like, "Is this man okay?" #1 fragrance icon that follows the teachings of Jesus, which was something fragrances to create his very own perfume brand, Fragrance One.
Hello, I'm the first of my kind in that scale.
Okay, let's smell it. I want to have...
Just wait patiently instead of clicking off, just because of how hooked they were to him. This was supposed to be a simple office fragrance, not something that cost a fortune. Even more suspicious,
Daring, because you need to have courage.
in addition to his good looks and confidence, this left him with no choice but to further prove his narcissistic side by texting her on Instagram to manipulate her and try to act like the victim and to get more views, more evidence of his creepy behavior, losing his mind and his fans in just a few years with his weird behavior.
then
what's the correct way?
if you think about a person like actor that
Started getting more erratic, and his health also seemed to be headed downhill. His fans started speculating about what However, his content changed drastically in 2023 when he suddenly grew religiously just for views.
I know what works, of course. I know that the jumping...
And his idea behind the brand was quite innovative, to make it easy for people to find the best perfume for every occasion with a
jungle of fragrances when you go into a fragrance store. Oh, which fragrance should I take? Does this...
Jeremy also started posting bizarre and questionable pictures of himself on Instagram. However, Jeremy's career came under fire once again, showed up once again years later, when he grew tired of waiting to find a life partner, and he decided to take matters into his own hands and post. He then made a video just to reassure his fans, but they only pointed out the ridiculous scenery. You use your time now wisely and choose the best people for you, for the future, and for BJs you give. You know which great man. Finally realizing that he has overshared, he'd quickly wrap up the topic and video. You'll probably enjoy these next ones as well, and don't forget to subscribe.
Hi Sophia, I asked for a video of you. Can you send me a video of you saying something like, "Hi Jeremy"?
Actually, still don't know how to talk about the topic of masturbating. Perry Ellis 360 Red. I love it, man. It's the dildo of the fragrance industry.
Slightly weird dances that left fans confused and questioning all their life choices.
The door real quick. 1 second, guys. Received.
This drastic behavior change was a huge shock to his old fans, as they commented saying what happened to him these years.
But I'm the best #1 influencer, you could say.
Behavior only led fans to speculate that Jeremy was perhaps lying about the discontinuation just to urge Calvin Klein, Giorgio Armani, Marc Jacobs, and many more. These girls were just above the legal age of 18 years old, which was almost half of Jeremy's age, and he was calling them ultra young.
Why the price of my fragrance will be tripled soon. Fragrances to me.
Confronted about his behavior, he'd only have a narcissistic breakdown in front of the camera. In the picture, he also posed with the Austrian right-wing politician and TV commentator Gerald Gross.
It smells trustworthy because butter is similar to mother's milk a little bit.
I have sex with all of you girls, but I want to have like high five to all of
Milk is the most similar to mother's milk. It smells so gorgeous. Oh, yes! Yeah!
He collaborated with the legendary perfumer Alberto Marias, who has designed perfumes for brands such as. His religious appearance became a bit questionable, as he continued to post things that don't really look religious.
Close down the brand. And he did that in a way where he would just go online, as he always does, post
and then completely break character and go off on a tangent.
Yeah, gentlemen, imagine this smells like the tastiest Nutella fragrance you can imagine. If you like the taste of the chocolate.
He assigned each different scent their own personality and explained the scent through describing what kind of person he imagines wearing it. This was a huge difference when compared to how he looked at his peak, and fans were begging him to take care of his health, saying bro had an uncanny ability to communicate scent through a screen, something very few people had achieved on YouTube back then. Nutella, which just showed how much his expertise in fragrances had deteriorated, as just a few dirty like that is just wrong. He definitely needs help, and I hope he gets it somehow. Never receiving his perfume, not even being able to contact customer service about it. How
it's written M-A-Y-B-E whenever,
and eventually changing up the criteria to fit his vision of a partner.
And it is our very first fragrance, the best office fragrance.
Viewers to his channel, which grew to over 2 million subscribers in just a few years, and more. The same titles, the same ratings, the same white suit. It's like watching an endless loop. But as Jeremy's mental and physical health changed, so did his marketing tactics in 2022.
I got the six-pack, I got the good vibes, I got the red Ferrari, I got the golden Rolex.
Only had Jeremy been rude and hurtful, he had also betrayed the trust of his own brother and business partner. Getting the perfumes, the company was actually founded by both him and his brother Camille Bank.
100,000 to up to more than $1 million. And it just
fans were understandably upset that they got lied to and used. And
Jeremy's original reasoning about it was that he wants to be more creative again, he wants to be an artist.
Back in 2014, where he would just review perfumes, while also sharing his life behind the scenes as a model, just where it's much cheaper compared to the ridiculously high prices that Jeremy sells at.
Oh, I post this on TikTok so I can't be too
Watch women's reactions to men's fragrances drew millions of saying, "You could literally sell me air and I'd buy it." But he decided to abuse the trust of his Lara wasn't interested in him, so she politely rejected him by saying it's not gonna suit and starting every video with his iconic spin. Jeremy wasn't just describing cologne, his old videos and leaving comments saying, "I miss this version of you, Jeremy."
You gotta handle and understand your sexual energy. Gives you ultimate power. It gives you the strength to convince people.
In interviews where his weird behavior continued, like the time he casually got up without even reviewing the scent he was supposed to talk about, leaving fans questioning and saying, "So overall, the fragrances of loneliness and edging, it
keep my semen to have a maximum impact on my face."
It wasn't always just about perfumes, sometimes it was even about food and drinks, like his passionate response to certain cooking ingredients. Called editor-in-chief of the Deutschland Courier, known for his ties to the right-wing populist party Alternative for Germany.
No, never in my life I've taken any drugs except drinking alcohol.